And here we come. This one has been long awaited. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair for the women's title. One of the women's titles. We just had another women's title. That's another thing. How do you think Bianca Belair and
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch, thank you. I went blank for a second. How do you think they felt their big WrestleMania moment and they're in one of the two women's title matches? However, the referee was... go ahead.
I was going to say, and they were in the better one.
Well, yeah, and it was. And again, this is Rousey and Charlotte probably contributed more to selling tickets or getting views or pay-per-views, if anybody but me still buys those or whatever, because it's a marquee match with the major names. But Belair and Becky had the advantage of not only going on first, but also both of them being pretty accomplished workers, whereas, you know, Charlotte's great, but she's not a magician, and Ronda Rousey's had 32 matches. So each one of them had their bragging rights. We had a better match, but they drew the money, whatever. But the referee, I think there should have been a complaint lodged. Did you see the referee, Charles Robinson, Little Nate? A guy who thinks that Charlotte Flair's father is the greatest human being to ever walk the planet is the referee? This smells like a conspiracy. Apparently, I was the only one that noticed that.
Someone call Stephen Pinu. I don't know what you want me to do to help them.
So, what is the deal again with Ronda Rousey's eye makeup? I'm not sure I understand. She looks like, she was a fucking cast member reject of the Outer Limits. She just landed from some spaceship. Charlotte looks, when she comes out and gets in the ring, she looks like the biggest female star in wrestling because she acts like it and she thinks she is, and therefore the prophecy somewhat fulfills itself. But at least Ronda, after she got in the ring, had the mean face on instead of smiling. Michael Cole said Ronda Rousey's debut match was 4 years ago at WrestleMania. I thought it was 3 years ago at WrestleMania. Who's right?
I thought it was longer than that. Hold on, let me check.
I'm pretty much going to guarantee you that it was 2019. Checking. I wish we had the Jeopardy music.
I'm checking here. It's for some reason the first thing that came up was actually not that, but when she appeared at WrestleMania with The Rock. Before that,
it was the match with Stephanie and Triple H and her and Angle. It was at the stadium in New Jersey. I swear the year was 2019.
It may be WrestleMania 34.
Okay. Well, no, that ain't it, because that would be 4 years. It was not 4 years ago.
Okay, I don't know.
Well, God damn it! Can you not Google into the Googler?
This Google
machine?
Sucks. Hold on.
Well, get a different Google. Get a good Google.
WrestleMania.
It was in New Jersey, in the stadium, and it was in April of 2019. I'm going to bet you money. Well?
It was WrestleMania 34.
What year?
2018.
Well, God damn it.
New Orleans. I was right. You had me go off the one I had that was right.
No, they were in New Orleans in 2014.
And again in 2018.
Ah, well, fuck. Well, they shouldn't repeat themselves. All right, anyway. This match was a fight. And if you noticed, every match on this card, except, what did we skipped something, or did we skip something? Yeah, the multiple man thing. But every match on the card, you know who the babyface is and who the heel is. It's not a tumbling competition. It seemed like a contest, like people were struggling for something. The biggest company on the biggest show of their year, the talent stepped up. Even though the booking ahead of time was nothing to write home about. And a lot of people have been presented in serious, or not in non-serious. A lot of people have been presented in frivolous fashion, but the talent took this seriously, and you understood what was going on for the most of it. again, Rousey, she's not experienced, but with just one opponent, instead of being in a battle royal where she got lost and wandered around, or instead of a multiple person situation, it's easier. Charlotte can help her out a little bit. And Ronda has been a mixed martial artist. So as far as a fight goes, whether it's a legitimate competition or a worked competition, she kind of gets that one-on-one, I'm against you type of thing. She used the judo throws. Charlotte controlled most of this, but Ronda would get in her things that people want to see her do. It was not smooth all the way through. And Charlotte went for her double moonsault and missed both of them. One on purpose, one by accident. But I like that deal where she hung Ronda in the tree of woe in the turnbuckle and then got up top and put the Boston Crab on her in the buckle while she was upside down. Then Ronda sits up and judo throws her off the top. And it wasn't smooth, but at the same time, it looked like people fighting to get an advantage. Rousey with the ankle lock. Charlotte reversed it. Ronda kicked her into the buckle there and then kind of got lost and paced around a little bit. But Charlotte hit another big move for a 2 count. Ronda get the ankle lock again. They traded some stiff kicks, and Charlotte goes first time for the figure 8 with a really deep, wild bridge on that, and Ronda reversed it and got the reversal of a figure 4, and both of them roll out to the floor. So Charlotte takes a hard bump. Well, actually, no, Ronda rolled out. Charlotte's on the apron, and Ronda jerks her off the apron and throws her onto the fucking floor. She hit hard. Ronda was going to run toward Charlotte on the floor so that Charlotte could catch her and do the SOS, a Scott Hall fallaway slam into the barricade. And this was just greenness. Ronda runs, and instead of coming with a crossbody where she could catch her, she kind of dove with her head going past her, and the balance was off. But Charlotte saved it. Ronda hit a Piper's Pit and got the 1, 2, 3, but as soon as the 3 came down, Charlotte had gotten a foot on the ropes, and Robinson waved it off. Oh, no, he saw it just in the nick of time. It didn't quite have the artisticness as when Tommy Young used to do it, but he got the point across. Again, Charlotte comes back on the offense. And then finally, Charlotte's going for a step over, like she's going to go into the figure 4, and Ronda's supposed to kick her off. So she goes into the referee and into the turnbuckle. But again, greenness, Ronda, she just rushed it. She rushed the kickoff. And as a result, she missed. She pushed over Charlotte's ass the first time. Charlotte, expecting a push, started going forward, then realized it wasn't the push, and then Ronda gave her a quick second push, and she had to bobble a step and go into the referee. Aspiring wrestlers out there, there's an easy way to do this and an easy way to communicate with your opponent ahead of time on getting the timing on this. When you've got the guy's leg and you're about to do the step over where you turn your back and expose your ass to the fucking guy on the floor's face so he could kick you off, always tell him, I'm going to have your leg and I'm going to swing my left leg over and plant my left foot. When I plant my left foot, I will be braced with slightly knees bent so that I'm ready to push off. And I'm going to stop for just 1 second in the turn and the planting of the foot so it doesn't look like I'm waiting on it. You need to have your foot not on my ass cheeks, but straight in my taint, because that's where you're not going to slip off, and push then. Otherwise, it always gets fucked up and it looks hokey when somebody's gotten a little breeze of a push and runs full steam into the fucking corner. Nevertheless, at that point, Charlotte spears the referee. because she got kicked off. Ronda gets her arm. Charlotte's tapping. There's no ref. Ronda goes to get the referee. Turns around. Charlotte comes with the big boot. 1, 2, 3. Holy shit. And as I wrote, what a fight. Not as good a wrestling match as Becky and Bianca, but a stiffer fight between the two of them. It was even with some herky-jerkiness, this was good enough to be in its spot on WrestleMania. That's my thoughts.
I don't think it was bad or anything, but whatever. Because of where it was on the card, or because of everything we just saw, I wasn't that into it, and nothing about the match pulled me into it. I saw some people try to excuse the sloppiness. It was sloppiness.
It was sloppy.
I couldn't really get into this match. I have not really gotten into Ronda Rousey's return at all. It's missing something. Well, it's missing a lot.
Well, we've talked about all the things that it's missing, and some of the things maybe is beyond their control, but some of them they could have controlled. But it comes down to she was protected before, and she's not been as protected this time around with exposing the things that she can't do. Just because she's not done this often enough. Again, maybe I'm just grading on what all I've watched over the course of this weekend and girls' matches in general, but these two female matches, women's matches, I could take this either because of the talent in the wrestling or the star power. In this case, I could take it, but I don't want to see 5 girls in a ladder match. But you're right. The clock is ticking on Ronda before a lot of people figure out, she's not really as good as we thought she is, and she doesn't really beat anybody in a minute anymore. But that's, to be expected.